Property is one of the most lucrative investments if it's done well. It generally increases in value over time. You can add value with improvements, draw equity from it, borrow against it, or rent it out for the long or the short term. So it's not surprising that celebrities, the wealthy, and Premier League footballers invest in property. YouTubers such as KSI and Morgs have companies specifically dedicated to property investment, whilst Ed Sheeran has one each for residential and commercial property. The big appeal is that by wrapping property investments within a company structure, it delays tax on profits and income whilst potentially increasing profit further down the line. Let's take the example of a Premier League footballer, specifically Marcus Rashford. Rashford's property company is MUCS Properties Limited, and according to the latest filings at Company House, it shows 2.8 million in fixed assets, 550,000 in current assets, and roughly 1.7 million pounds in debt. Bankers Coutts & Co., bankers to the Queen, have an interest in 9 properties as they have registered 9 charges against properties. So how does all this work? Before the money gets into the property company, we need to start at the beginning with his Manchester United salary. Quick disclaimer, this isn't tax evasion, nor is it tax avoidance. Kind of tax avoidance, but mainly tax delay. Save money today and make money by investing today. Making the right choice at the right time, which is not illegal. HMRC mandate that footballers must be paid PAYE, which makes them employees, and any benefits or pay received are taxable at the standard rates. In the case of a footballer, this is 40 to 50%, and their basic tax-free income gets wiped out over a certain amount. Rashford earns a reported annual salary of £10.5 million per year, and depressing for Rashford is that £5 million of that is going straight to the government. Add the need for security, privacy, a big house, and the expenditure typically rises to meet income. This probably doesn't leave as big a pile of cash at the end of each year as you might expect. So what about income outside of football, and are these subject to the same PAYE rules? No. Sponsorship, brand deals, book deals, appearance fees, image rights, merchandise, speaking engagement fees, and more are where footballers and the wealthy and celebrities can get creative with their finances. Rashford funnels all his money through MUCS Enterprises, which has almost tripled the cash held at the bank between April 2019 and April 2021. And the reported corporation tax indicates a gross profit as follows: in 2019, 1.4 million, 2020, 3.4 million, and 2021, 1.5 million. It seems that charity really does pay, and the pandemic has been quite kind to Marcus. The company will pay a smaller rate of 19% corporation tax, soon to be 25% unless it's scrapped, on the gross profits, but Rashford won't pay tax again unless he draws income from the business's dividends, and they're taxed at a rate between 9 and 40%. As the income sits within the company can spend money on legitimate business expenses to facilitate the operations of the business. For example, let's say he needs a killer setup to stream FIFA videos on Twitch and spends £25,000 on lights, rigs, PC, Elgato, etc. That £25,000 worth of kit will earn him money, and nothing really stops him using the equipment for personal use. This makes him a tax saving of £4,750 in this hypothetical situation. Petrol allowance, mobile phone use of home office, uniform, marketing, tech, travel, accommodation, and all of these areas are ripe for expensing your lifestyle whilst making huge tax savings and spending money somewhat tax-free. And we haven't even discussed property yet. Let's assume that from Marcus's work outside of football, he has charged as many expenses as he can, but is left with £1.5 million in the bank. Should he take it as dividends and pay 40% tax? Hell no. Likely he still has some of the £5 million left from kicking a ball about. He doesn't need the cash. So, you set up a new company, MUCS Properties, you loan cash from one company to the other, and you buy up some property. Rashford has therefore only paid 19% tax on income of £1.5 million, and he's been free to loan cash between his companies without incurring further charges. But you might be thinking, won't tax be due on the income from property? Yes, but properties are further expense machines: building work, batteries, light bulbs, more computer equipment, more staff welfare, more travel expenses. And furthermore, if wealth accumulates in one account, you can always pay back some of the original loan and use that cash to expand your other business. I mean, the Rashford clothing line needs to have a photo shoot in the Caribbean, right? He won't pay tax again until he's kind of makes a profit, stops expensing, or sells a property for a capital gain, as in he buys it for 100, sells it for 200, he pays tax on the £100,000 profit. The phrase money begets money is as true now as it ever has been. Whether you agree with it or not is irrelevant. All of these manoeuvres are legal. Take a deal we put together a few years back. The The entrepreneur's relief tax was set at 10%, but due to increase in the impending budget. By closing the deal before the budget, we managed to put it through at the older and lower tax rate, saving thousands. I hope you've all enjoyed this video, and we'd really appreciate you hitting the like button and subscribing, and if you'd like more content, let us know in the comments below.